Okay. Oh boy. I'm beginning to wonder if this is a ploy by the thing that I'm using to make me buy the upgraded package. What is going on? Because it's showing as active when I'm in the emulator. It's not showing as active on YouTube. This is weird. Let's try this. Oh, maybe progress? Maybe progress. This might be good. Okay, I think we have something that is successful finally. There seems to be a lot of lag today, though. So that concerns me a bit. Okay, well, let's carry on with the day then. Patrick, if you're there, let me know if this is working. Definitely a lot of lag, but I feel like we haven't frozen up again. So, okay. We are going to see if this continues to work. Yeah, so that was a lot of chaos. Sorry, friends. Hopefully we are good now. So yeah, I'm working on Inktober stuff again today. Just trying to keep my pace with that. So that's my plan. The prompt for today is pattern. So I'm thinking of doing some stained glass, which I have roughed out on the page already. Realize that's pretty hard to see in the camera just because it's such light pencil. Now there is coffee, so everything can be fine. Yay, everything being fine. So all I want to do right now is just rough in my major lines, and then I'm just going to start in ink. I'm not going to mess around too much with pencil today. I have another commission that I need to get to, so this is not one that's going to be 9 hours in the making. Hey Naglis, how's it going? We had quite the time getting the stream going this morning, so my apologies for the delay, and my thanks to Patrick for helping get it all sorted out. I'm glad you're good. That's exciting. Anything new and wonderful going on in your world right now? It fixed itself, Patrick? I guess it is evening. I'm sorry. It's morning here. There has not been enough coffee. A lot of auto refocusing, probably because I'm moving. I will keep my coffee on the other side of the camera, and hopefully that prevents that from being such an issue. The theme for the day today is pattern, and I had the idea that I wanted to do some stained glass windows. I have a church in one of my D&D campaigns that could use some fleshing out in terms of the world building, and I had written a passage about their stained glass windows, and so I thought that might be fun to bring into being a little bit. I have no idea if this one is going to be very successful. I'm feeling quite flustered right now. So we will find out. No, I won't color the glass. I've been doing the entire set of Inktober so far in just black and white ink as a personal challenge. So I'll do this in a similar scheme to keep the consistency. That I won't color them is sad. Maybe I'll color them another time. I'm sure it'll be fine. Which one was I using? That one. Make an Inktober coloring book. Yeah, sometimes I wonder about that. I think it could be fun. One year I want to book myself so that all I'm doing for October is Inktober. That there's no other work, that like I take the month off in this dream sequence of my brain. And just do this, because when I have 8 and 10 hours a day to put into it, I make some really incredible stuff. When I feel rushed, I find the ideas are just not as great and the execution is sorely lacking. So it would be really nice to just have a month of making really freaking epic art. Which I mean is kind of the desire of my life at the best of times, but it would be nice. I was saying to Lisa yesterday that I feel like my drawing yesterday really proved to me that I have fallen away from doing character art so much. I was profoundly uncomfortable for the entire duration of that sketch just because I've done so little with physical human anatomy. And I'm just like, oh boy, that's a problem. It's weird to try to find the balance between all the things that you want to be drawing when you're doing paid work for other people. I have not mastered that yet. And I'm not complaining. I am not at all. I like having paid work from other people. But it definitely can really keep you doing one thing all the time. I'm glad you got into your sketchbook today, Nicholas. That's awesome. That's exciting, Patrick. Is it for like a landscape map or a city map or a dungeon map? For a real world or a fictional world? An author's fictional world. That's sweet. That's totally awesome. Make sure if they're going to publication that you're charging licensing fees and you've got a contract and all that stuff, hey? Don't sell yourself short. Rolling in the dough. Yeah. Money is such a weird part of freelance artwork. It's one of my least favorite aspects of it. I would much rather just make the art and have the money manage itself. But it is one of those things where, like, I've had conversations with other people about the financial value of art as opposed to like the moral and ethical value of art. And a lot of artists have a really hard time pricing themselves. I know it's the single biggest struggle that I have with my creative process. Making the art is not a problem, figuring out what to charge for it is. So I think those are conversations that we need to have in public as artists so that people understand the process. Um, and I know that like it really depends on where you're from as to like what kind of expectations you have in terms of wages and stuff like that. Like where I'm from, there's a $15 an hour minimum wage. And so I charge minimum wage. And people are like, that's so much money if they come from places that don't have a $15 an hour minimum wage. And people here are like, you're not charging enough because you're skilled labor and you're only charging $15 an hour. So it's definitely got to do with expectations too. Mm-hmm. Nate's video gave me a lot of confidence about raising my prices. It took me doing commissions for a year before I think I got to the point where I realized my work was good enough to be asking for those kinds of prices. And I have been getting them. I have a higher rate of people going, maybe not, but I still have enough work to work. So, and I'm getting different kinds of clients. I'm getting the ones who are really serious about the process as opposed to like not quite as committed as they could be. So that kind of thing is really nice. I have one coming up possibly for February of next year that will be the physically largest map I've ever done. And it'll also be the highest value map I've ever done. And oh boy, that's suddenly a lot of pressure because when you work analog, one thing screws up and you got to start over. So that's intense. But I'm excited about it. It'll be a good challenge. I'm thinking that I'm going to start a map that size for just myself for practice to see what the workflow is like. Probably in November. So October is Inktober and then a commission starting I think next week. And then November, I'm trying to decide if I'm doing NaNoWriMo or not. I don't know. I want to, but I haven't been writing in a very long time. Which is probably more the reason to do it, honestly. Oh, that's fantastic, Patrick. Right on. Congratulations. That's really awesome. Yeah, Nicholas, pricing is definitely one of those things that it's hard to say. And it's also a matter of finding someone who likes your style and likes what you do. Personality is a really big thing when you're dealing with commission work. I have definitely worked with people that we did not actually get along. And I'm not saying you have to get along, but it does generally help a little. Man, I cannot line these things up today. Do, do, do. Which one was I using? I think style is a really intensely personal thing. It's part of the reason I don't do like dungeon maps and stuff, because I don't know how to make what I do tangible into a dungeon map. I think it'll be a fun challenge at some point. I want to try, but it hasn't really been something that I've invested a lot of time in, so I wouldn't feel comfortable charging for it because I feel like I'd just be faking it. So 05, which one of these is the better 05? Probably that one because that's the newer lid. I have a 01 out here yet? Yep. Both of those are terrible. Bag full of microns, guys. No idea which one to use. It's the thing. All right. Yeah, there's a difference for sure, Naglis, with like when you have something that is not obviously the same as everyone else's. I was really worried about that when I got started, because my style is not at all comparable to Nate's or Dyson's or Devin's, and I was very worried that people would not like what I did. But I've had to let that fear go. And as I've let the fear go, people have shown up and been like, hey, I like what you do. Let's work together. I'm in a super privileged position as well where my husband makes enough to support both of us, so I'm free to experiment with a style and that kind of thing. So I can definitely see it being more of a problem for people where that kind of freedom is not present because they have financial pressure. I don't wish that on anybody. Hi, Saxon. What you doing? I'm doing my stream, buddy. We can't play right now. We can play later. You're so cute when you tilt your head like that. Oh, I know. It's not gonna happen right now. Go lay down. Hi, cutie. Go lay down. Ah, geez, I'm just so not on my game today. Good boy, Doodle. Has it really, Patrick? I didn't know that. That's really flattering. Thank you so much. The trees. Yeah, retirement checks are pretty handy, or so I've been told. I do not know that I will ever be in a position to receive a retirement check. We'd have to be in a larger center and me be able to find work for that to be a thing. It's definitely teaching me the value of like saving up front, because if I can't guarantee my own pension, then I need to handle that a little bit differently. Like Dave will have his pension when he retires from the military, but I feel like I should be contributing to that somehow too. It's so weird to like be at a place in my life where I'm suddenly like thinking about retirement. Like I don't know when I hit that transition, but I definitely wasn't doing this a couple of years ago. I think it may have to do with the fact that I've been unemployed for quite a while, so hi Doodle. To reverse engineer the trees? Dude, you should have just asked me. I would have shown you. It's all good. That said, I've really struggled with having, like, people have asked me for tutorials for my stuff. And part of me is like, I love the idea of teaching people and I love the idea of it all being out there. And part of me is like, oh boy, that's mine. Like, and I've got to kind of investigate where that attitude is coming from, because I don't really hold with that. I think if people want to make art, they should make art. And that if I can help that, it's kind of my obligation to help that. But yeah, I definitely had a little bit of possessiveness a couple of times that I've been asked, and it was just like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, but Nicholas, like, my pictures are everywhere. Like, if people want to look at my work, it's online. Like, if you want to reverse engineer it from there. But that's the thing. A time-consuming hybrid. Oh, honey, they should not be time-consuming. Definitely not. All right, what am I doing for these patterns, yo? Let's put some circles in here. Get going. What pen do I want? Do I have a 05 out? No, I have a 005 out. 0, 01, 01. It's like I only work in 3 sizes of these pens, guys. Except I know I don't. There we go. That's the one I want. I scan and post a lot of my stuff. Well, actually, I take photographs and post a lot of my stuff, let's be real. I hate spending a lot of time with a scanner, so I don't do a ton of it. Part of that is the decision on my part, because I am running a Patreon, that my scans and stuff, I want to be out there for my patrons. But I have no problem posting photographs of my work. And if you're legit about trying to steal somebody's style, photographs are enough to help you figure out what you need to do. There was somebody in the Fantasy Maps group, I think her name was Dominica, that did a map very much in my style once, like down to even having the right color for the water. And it was amazing. Like she did a really great job. I thought it was one of mine for half a second, and I was like, I don't remember drawing that coastline. Like, what's that about? No, it was really impressive. She did a brilliant job. But it was also, again, a little bit surreal. I was like, oh, okay. This is odd and awesome. You get to the bottom and realize you're definitely not on center. That's okay. I think you need to be smaller. Oh, you got the brush pens. Yeah, the number 3 is a good size. It's the one I've got right now. I have a tendency to work in much finer than that, though. I tend to be a 03, a 01, and a 005. It made me realize, like, I think that's one of the concerns that I have about doing this really massive map in February, because it's such a large piece of paper. It's 20 inches by 25 inches is going to be the final dimensions. So like more than double the size of the largest one I've worked on before. And I'm like, pen width, like, is this actually going to be a thing in terms of making my lines show up? So that's why I want to do the demo map and figure all of that out beforehand, because I don't want to have to be figuring that out while the clock is ticking. Saxon's playing with his stuffed lion. It's very cute. Oh crap, which one was I using? This one? This one. I don't think you missed anything, Nicholas. Patrick, you're not wrong. And I'm sure nobody could have drawn it even if it were the case, right? Oh my goodness. I think that's one of the struggles that I have with like geometric things, is I always presume that they have to be like perfect, completely well spaced and beautiful quality of lines and stuff. Like, I am so not that person. I'm a very haphazard, organic, let's just throw it down and see what happens kind of artist. My friend Brian does stained glass. He made me a phoenix feather for Christmas last year. It is so beautiful, and it hangs in my window. There's a picture of it on Instagram. And it's something that I've always wanted to try doing. I've just never really had the opportunity. Dave's ex-wife had all of the tools, and when we were cleaning up, she abandoned a bunch of her stuff when she left. When we were cleaning up, he's like, "Hey, do you want these?" And I was like, "No, it's fine. I'm never gonna get into it." And now I'm like, "Oh, dude, I had all the stuff." That's really frustrating. Teach me to look a gift stained glass set in the mouth. I think you're right, Patrick. It is about embracing the imperfections. I'm getting better at it. Not perfect by any means, though. I think the embracing of the imperfections is one of the things that's given me a lot more confidence about drawing in the wild. Like if I am at a coffee shop or traveling and see a cool building or a landscape or something that I'm really into, just realizing that it's allowed to be in the moment has given me a lot more confidence to be like, this is the art I'm going to make right now. And that is just a wonderful kind of feeling to have when you're like, I'm cool with this. I'm very comfortable. I can make this thing. I don't know if you guys can hear Saxon chewing on his lion. If you can, I'm really sorry. It's kind of gross. All right. Oh, necklace? What do you mean by that? Because performance to me indicates a live action something. That's really interesting. So, like, drawings of people would look like him or look like the style of the performance, like the costuming and things like that. Okay, just a second. Full moon. 3/4 moon. Three-quarter moon. Half moon. Half moon. One-quarter moon. Dark. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to ignore the one on the bottom. That gives us 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Saxon has finally chewed the nose of his lion off and is now playing with this teeny tiny piece of fluff. Because that's what he does. Sorry if this gets noisy, friends. Yeah, you should. Finishing maps is always a good thing. Always, always. Mm-hmm. How you doing, Goomba? Hmm? Hey, Gary, how's it going? I'm happy that you could come and hang out today. Oh, what's going on with Mom's car? Is it okay? Well, I mean, clearly not if you're taking it over to the dealership. She's just getting the winter tires on or something? On the airbags. Okay, well, good idea to get that fixed. I'm glad it's nothing serious. Or at least, like, that we're catching it before the airbags become a serious issue. Is the Inktober. The theme for today is pattern. So I'm drawing what I think to be an example of the windows in one of the churches for the book. Neglis is right, though. I think these would probably look much better in color. Some of the detail, yeah, for sure. Just let me darken one more line here. All right, let's see if this can focus. So what I'm intending for it is that it's a, it's not really focusing too well, I'm sorry. It's a portrait. So this is the air coming into the mountains, coming into the hills, coming into water. Focus, focus, focus. Come on, camera. There we go. Maybe, maybe not. One day I'm going to figure out how to autofocus this thing faster. So the church that this is for is the Temple of Kelter, and Kelter is a storm god who is associated with travel and adventure. So the motifs of the sea and nature traveling is pretty prominent in their iconography. And they use the compass rose a lot as kind of a motif, like how the Christians use the cross. So trying to invoke those things in here. Thanks. I kind of like it. Hmm. Ah, damn it. All right, well, we'll fake it. Like Patrick was saying earlier, just go to embrace the imperfection. Their customizations. Yeah, for sure. It's not a bug, it's a feature. I have total Eclipse of the Heart stuck in my head, you guys. It's terrible. Hey, Laura. Yes. It's been really nuts to have a connection today. Patrick saw me through the worst startup we've had for the stream in weeks. So that was a thing. Oh, how was the movie, Patrick? Laura, I missed you too. Oh, but the Enterprise theme is so good, Gary. Or at least it was in the first 3 seasons. I think it was the 4th season they changed it to like a more upbeat version that had like a friggin' pop sound to it. And I was like, no, go away. This is not as inspiring. I just need away from my desk for a second. I'm going to grab myself just a bit more coffee. I will be right back. Hi, Saxon. Are you going to go talk to the people? What you doing, Duder? You took off your lion's nose, buddy. Why did you do that? Hey? How come you did that? You were doing so good about not destroying the stuffies. No, you leave my coffee. Coffee is not for puppies. Oh, Discovery is so good. I've only seen the first season, though, because it's not broadcasting on anything that I own. Hi, Goomba. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. You have to wait. Okay, you gotta wait. I know you want to play. Hey, I know you want to play. You're a good boy. Nose off the desk, please. Thank you. I think my favorite thing about the Enterprise theme, honestly, is that Dave has a tendency to sing it when he's watching the show. And it's so rare that he sings out loud that it just makes me so happy that I could hear him sing once in a while. It's like, yay. It's so nice. I'm really looking forward to Picard. Like, for real. Oh my goodness, yes. More Patrick Stewart forever. Picard is my captain, which tells you a lot about me. Kirk is Dave's captain, which tells you a lot about Dave. So, that is definitely a thing in our household. Hi, Doodle. Yeah, I think a friend of mine is going to give me access to their Crave, which is exciting because the new season of British Drag Race is on Crave as well, which I would like to see. Saxon, why are you breathing funny? You okay? Okay. I love Drag Race. There's just something about the pageantry of drag that really, really appeals to me. Icelandic volcano climbing. That sounds intense. By motorsport, do you mean like people are driving up mountains? Because I am confused. 31 days of Harry Potter drag. That'd be pretty intense. Oh, Fifi. Yeah, she was on, I forget which season. She's not necessarily a great person. Or at least the cameras made it look that way. I have no idea what they're like in real life. I have to wonder about the editing in that show sometimes. I don't know if that's... Patrick, that sounds outrageous. So I don't know if you've ever seen Top Gear. My assumption is yes. The Toyota Hilux episode where they went to the Arctic Circle in Canada and had those weird droopy tires for traction. Do you know what I'm talking about? It really was a great episode. Gary, I think I watched that episode with you. No, I haven't seen the new one on Netflix. I'm a terrible person for TV, to be very honest. I do not watch a lot of it at all. I'm a great person to go to the movies with, though, because I've never seen anything that's out there. Yes, Saxon, I know. Not done yet. Pretty close, though. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Almost done. My hands are getting tired today. That's not a good sign. Yeah, Patrick, I hear you. I paint minis when I'm watching TV. I've also, like, I think part of that is I owe to drawing because I listen to Critical Role and stuff while I'm working, which has given me more patience for listening to TV as opposed to seeing TV. I used to not be able to do it. I'd have to watch everything obsessively. I have a really hard time focusing unless I have something to do with my hands if the TV is on. I'm very, like, easily caught up in television. At least you knew what was coming, Patrick. I can't do homework and watch TV. That's a thing. I know people who, like, worked on their theses while watching television. I'm like, how could you focus? That one doesn't work so well for me. All right. I think I'm going to call it. That works for me. So this is number 10. Number 10 is pattern. Laura. I'm really glad that you guys could come and hang out. We will do it again next week for sure. I may do one earlier than that, but it won't be this week because I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys have an awesome week, and thanks for hanging out. And it's all good, Laura. Don't stress about it. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for bearing with me while the stream was so hinky this morning. No, I'm not going home. I'm going into Edmonton. Some friends have invited me to come in for Thanksgiving with Dave being gone, so I'm going to go in and hang out with them. So there's really no reason to go home. I'm pretty sure that my family will be in Regina, and that works for me. So yeah, so anyways, I'm going to head out. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you later. Bye.